Hi everyone, welcome back to the ESL Pro League China Closed Qualifiers Day 2. And we're into our second match of today as well. We've just seen Vici progress on through the upper brackets, beating CyberZ 2-0. Now it's time for Tyloo and SC Absolute to fight off for their one place to progress on further into the lower bracket. Both of these teams now facing elimination, and definitely not what we would have expected, saying that Tyloo would be facing elimination on the second day of the qualifiers.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really would have expected that, but I think they'll be a little bit more serious now that they've had a little bit of an upset in there. Maybe wake up a little bit and try to play their best brand of CS.
Well, they certainly weren't playing their best brand of Counter-Strike last night against Vici. There certainly seemed to be something off for Tyloo. And I mean, maybe that leaves the door open here for SC Absolute. But SC Absolute, for their own right, didn't really get a whole lot done last night against CyberZ. They went down 0-2 as well. Laz, again, was the standout, but to say he was the standout in that matchup is probably being a bit of a stretch. I don't think there was necessarily anyone that actually stood up and took that game away for SC Absolute, which as a result ended up being
my main problem with the Scars team has always been the same. I haven't watched a huge amount of their games. Mostly I watched them at the minor, I think it was, where they actually made it to the minor and also the qualifier of that. And my problem has always been that when they win games, they're always close games. It's not like they cleanly beat anyone or show anyone too impressive, and it's always only on certain maps. You know, like they can play this map, but then when it's a best of 3, like this qualifier is, they don't tend to get a lot done. They don't tend to be able to do much more than get a best of 1 upset in a close fashion, which is not really impressive.
Fairly small map pool for SC Absolute, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. One thing that we do need to keep an eye on, though, is obviously they use rosters. We have spoken a little bit about how SC Absolute have had a fairly recent roster change, Palm departing, Rita coming in. So that's how the SC Absolute roster does look coming into today's matches. Everyone should really know who's playing on Tyloo at this point.
I thought Palm was one of the better players on the roster, to be honest, from watching like the minor or whatever, and in some of the games I watch, he seemed to do totally fine for himself.
Oh, well, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. We don't know how the internal workings of SC Absolute does work out, but Laz has always been, for me, the standout on this SC Absolute roster. If he's not having a big game, or if he's being shut down, then the chances are that SC Absolute is not going to find a win, in my eyes. There's not much depth past that when it comes to really just being able to stand up and absolutely carry the game.
And what role does he play?
So he's the AWPer.
He's the AWPer.
Yeah. And when you look at Tyloo, for example, they've got, Bentet, they've got Xcurate. If those two guys aren't stepping up, somebody.
Well, you have to say, as of late, it feels like the Indonesians have really been by far the standout for Tyloo.
Sure.
And then the Chinese boys, DD is either on 40 kills or 5 kills, it seems like. Somebody's in quite a bit of a slump, actually, by his standards, I feel like, as of late, especially at the major. He was very unimpressive as opposed to his recent form.
Well, he wasn't great last night either.
So. And then Captain Mo, I mean, he had a big sort of unintended vacation from CS, which he can't really do anything about. And when he came back, he went like 20 for 5 and had like a massive half, I remember, and absolutely wrecked everyone out of the server, when in real life he was like limping on crutches or something. But then after that, he was fairly inconsistent, actually. Like, definitely not as good as he was. And even before, his injury and his accident, it's not like he was like their best player or anything like that.
No. Anyway, one thing that we do need to talk about for both of these teams is that they're on their way to Odense, or at least hopefully for them they are on their way. Both of them being in the lower bracket now, though, they don't want to be dropping this map, because that means their path to the finals, the season finals, would be over. You lose 2 matches, you are out. But if you do win all of them, then you get through to Odense, December 7th to 9th, and you can potentially have a good time at the season finals. But to be fair, for the teams coming from this region, it's always a pretty difficult task. We saw both Greyhound and MVP really not doing any damage at the Dallas finals for Season 7.
Yeah, I mean, some people would call this whole qualifier Tyloo's road to Odense, unless MVP steps up and plays an outstanding game. But, I mean, so far, it's not really what we've seen from them. They've definitely had their struggles towards the end of after the major and stuff like that. You'd expect them to be really strong, having come off the back of a competition that was fairly meaningful for them, I'd imagine, and they would have had some really good practice and stuff like that. You'd expect them to come back even stronger, but it's kind of been the opposite effect.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe they've just taken their foot a little bit off the pedal after coming back from the major, and they've just taken a week off or something like that, and maybe now they're just going to start to kick things back into gear as they're starting to get back into Counter-Strike a little bit more. But realistically, like this, you're right. This shouldn't have been a very difficult qualifier for Tyloo. I mean, there are some good teams in here, domestically speaking, for Asia, but compared to the opponents that Tyloo are now used to playing against, none of these guys really hold a candle up. I mean, MVP certainly has never had any success really internationally. Same can be said for Flash, particularly the new Flash. Vici, while they had a good night last night, yeah, they're still a very new sort of formulative team that's not really been doing anything just yet. And even if you look at all the teams in the Southeast Asian qualifier as well, the best team there is Boot Dreamscape. And that's not a team that Tyloo's really ever had any troubles against.
Oh, there was like this very niche period where Boot actually like beat them in a qualifier or something like that, and was like also beat them in something else like in that like 1 or 2 month period. But apart from that, yeah, you're completely right in saying that. It's a bit weird. The question I've always had with Tyloo is at what point is the communication barrier and all that extra work that they have and that extra hurdles that they have to overcome going to start to impact on their game? And also number two, their style as well, how they used to all go, balls out and try to get, all the aim duels and just, take fights and stuff like that. Now they've gone back to a much more tactical style because that just wasn't really working consistently internationally, and that's had a lot of a toll on some of their players, it seems like. Whereas DD and somebody were really aggressive players who were comfortable with that style and actually fairly consistent in that sort of style. Now that they've gone into a more tactical system and Ventet's really trying to shape the way that they play as a team, those guys seem to struggle a lot more. Whereas your players like Xcurit and Bentet seem to really thrive in that kind of environment. So it's almost like you're forcing some sort of players who aren't so comfortable playing a certain style to play like that, because you have to play like that when you start to go international.
Yeah, well, I guess that's just an adaptation that these guys are going to have to make for Tyloo if they want to have success internationally speaking. Regardless, though, what they're playing for right now is a spot to go internationally, so they are still kind of, I guess, playing domestically. We did talk a little bit earlier on about how the maps for SC Absolute are a little bit difficult at times, so I wonder if there's a chance actually that SC Absolute can get out of this veto.
I don't really think it's going to matter, to be honest. Tyloo's not that kind of team that tries to trap you in the veto. They just go, oh, you want to play Mirage? Okay, let's play Mirage.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how can SC Absolute even get through this veto without... With
the map that they might
be able to win. No. Let's have a look and see. I mean, we have to check what the two first vetoes are going to be. Train and Nuke. Train, pretty much perma veto for SC Absolute. They'll also be happy to see Nuke gone, because Nuke and Train are by far SC's worst maps. And Nuke, obviously, is a map that Tyloo doesn't play. So Train are very good veto there from SC Absolute. Mirage, SC's best map. Then again, probably also Tyloo's best map. Not based on last night's results, but just based on results in general.
Tyloo pick Inferno.
Pick Inferno. They didn't have a good night last night on Inferno, but it was a very uncharacteristic result.
I don't need to see the third map, Jordan. These are the only two maps we're going to be seeing in this series, okay. I feel like.
All right, well, just for the sake of it, I want to see it. So let's bring up the third map here as well and have a look at what it's going to be. Overpass. Now,
a weird one.
That is a very weird one, actually, for Tyloo, because it's actually not a map that they have a lot of success on. Aside from Nuke, it's probably their worst map. And I would have actually expected that they might probably prefer to go for Dust 2 in this instance, but...
I mean, to be fair to Tyloo, they're a team with their own map pool issues. They're a team that only really plays 3 maps, if you think about it. It's your Inferno, Mirage, and it's your Train. And past that, they really start to struggle a lot, so... I mean, both of these teams have fairly limited map pools. It's not surprising to see them go towards the middle of their map pool and try to avoid some of those dodgy ones.
I would agree with you. I do think that those 3 maps are obviously their go-to picks, but they do actually have good success on the Dust 2 and the Cache against Australian and Asian teams.
Okay.
Internationally speaking, no. But when they do actually go up against domestic teams, they actually do okay, which probably just comes down to their superior skill.
Interesting that they had the last veto there and they choose to go, instead of Dust, they go towards Overpass.
Yeah.
Although we saw... Scars upset Renegades on Dust, if you remember, at the minor. It was like a 16-14, but that was a bit of a dodgy one.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't even think it's going to get to the third map, so I don't think it's really too relevant to even talk about. But, you know, Tyloo, they did lose both of these maps yesterday. We would have said 2-0 to Tyloo yesterday against Vici, and that didn't eventuate. So it really, you know, I want to say there's a chance here for SC Absolute. There is. There's always a chance.
There's not really a chance though, Jordan, because even you saw at the major and the minor, Tyloo played a lot of overpass as well, and they beat some pretty good teams on that map. So like, it's like you're playing Tyloo on 3 of their best maps that they've shown some international success on, and Scars are just, I don't really know. I don't think they have anything going for them.
Well, they haven't played against each other in recent times either, so there's not too much to go off. I think last time that they played against each other was in May, which was a 2-0 for Tyloo. It's quite a while ago now, and Tyloo have kind of been going from strength to strength throughout this year. I think really at this point, I mean, at the major, I guess they would have peaked as much as we've ever seen them.
Kind of, yeah. It's weird to say though, because it feels like some of the individuals have gotten worse, but as a team they've gotten better. So, you know, they've definitely changed their approach a lot more. It kind of warrants you to wonder whether maybe they should just go back into that like full aim battle mode against some of the Asian competition, because it's what gave them dominance in the region, and then maybe switch back into a different style. I mean, it's not really effective for your practice, but
exactly, that's what I was going to say.
It's going to get you through the qualifiers.
But I mean, there is that theory of, you know, you should practice how you want to play in the end, you know. So like if everything's going wrong, you can just fall back onto the fundamentals that you've practiced time and time and time again, and it's less about thinking of what you need to be doing, and it's more about just instinct because you've practiced it so much. So I don't know, it could be a double-edged sword. Maybe it makes it easier for Tyloo to get through these domestic qualifiers, but then potentially internationally speaking, then they have some more trouble. So I don't know. I think regardless of the decision really for Tyloo, they are surely going to have enough against SC Absolute. This is now a time for Tyloo, obviously being in the lower bracket, where they need to kick themselves into another gear, because last night they quite clearly weren't in their peak form, even close to their peak form at all. But now it's do or die time for them. So they can't afford to lose this matchup. If we're going to see a good Tyloo, it's going to happen tonight. If we don't, and they get knocked out, that's just crazy. Absolutely crazy, but it really opens the door for another team to come through.
They're still in the upper bracket, aren't they?
Yeah, they haven't played a game yet because they had to reschedule some of their matches.
Okay.
But yeah, that would be the other team that you would look to.
It's going to be interesting to see MVP take on Gosu, to be honest, because Gosu won their match, and MVP's...
if MVP beats eHome.
Who'd they beat? eHome?
If they beat eHome.
Yeah. Look, if that's an upset that's going to happen as well, then I'm just out.
We've seen a lot of upsets already.
Yeah, that's true. And this has always been the region where it's happened, isn't it? You get those pretty weird results. Tends to make the betters fairly unhappy.
Yeah, well, that's... I mean, maybe that's a bit of a blessing in disguise.
Maybe.
It's always fun to kind of annoy people, I suppose. But I don't know how many bettors are going to be disappointed with this matchup. If you're betting on SC Absolute, you're probably...
I wouldn't even bother.
Well, I wouldn't either, but if you're betting on SC Absolute, I think you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And if you're betting on Tyloo, well...
It's probably a match for a round line bet, expecting Tyloo to win at least like 16-8 or something like that. I don't know. By a certain amount of rounds.
Maybe. Well, speaking of bets, the Betway odds up here, 1.05 to 8.
Yeah, if you're going to bet at all, you'd probably go for a round line one, I suppose.
You know, maybe put $10 on SC Absolute. Who knows? Maybe Tyloo's having an off tournament. There's $80.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's worth it. I'd rather just have my $10 personally.
$10.50 if you bet on Tyloo.
Ooh, $10.50.
Is it $10.50? No, $10.
You get 50 cents.
Yeah, 50 cents. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm good.
A nice hexagonal coin. Is it a hexagon? I think it is, right?
That's too much. Too many questions for my brain. I don't even know what you could buy with 50 cents at this point. You could buy like a bunch of really bad skins.
I'm trying to think physically what you could buy with 50 cents. Maybe an apple at Coles or something. Put it on the weight scale. Make sure it's not too heavy.
Yeah, apples are like $2.50 a kilo. So you could buy a couple of apples actually, depending on how big they are.
Pretty worth. I might go put my bet in right now.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, I bought 4 apples today, Jordan. I like me some pink
ladies. I bought 3.
Did you? What kind did you buy?
Red Delicious.
No, what's wrong with you? Those are garbage apples.
They're the best.
That's the trash apple choice, Jordan. I'm so disappointed in you.
Why? How can you not? You're a hater.
They're not actually delicious.
They are.
The name is a lie. They're
like the deep, dark red apples. That's the best kind.
No, they're so flowery and disgusting.
They're not flowery. They're only flowery if you let them go off. You got to eat them within a couple of days, obviously. God.
Fair enough.
Anyway, we're getting a little bit off topic. We're not too far away from getting into this match here between Tyloo and SC. Your prediction, Pilly? Can I put some words in your mouth?
Yeah, 16-0, 16-0. Let's go.
I was going to say 2-0, but 16-0, 16-0 does paint very much the same picture. I'll be leaning on that side. I think, yeah, look, 16... Let's say first map is, what, Mirage?
Look, if I'm Scars, to be honest, I'm just
An Inferno.
going, let's try and get double digits and let's try and actually make this game competitive, and then I'll be happy to go home after that.
Yeah, pretty good growing experience for SC Absolute. Like I said, they don't get to play against Tyloo too often. SC Absolute's kind of like an up-and-coming team in the Asian region where they have good results domestically or reasonable results domestically, but they've never been able to challenge toward that top
They're just
tier.
like they're the gatekeeper team.
Exactly.
They're the team that goes to and goes like, oh, we want to beat these guys this time around.
Yeah. But if they go up against Tyloo, which they haven't done in a while, it's a good learning experience, especially with this newer roster that SC Absolute is going to be bringing out onto the field.
The field of Mirage,
Mm-hmm.
of which there are no fields in this map. Is there a field in any map? I don't think so.
I guess you
Maybe in the background.
kind of argue there might be one on Cobblestone up toward T-Spawn.
Yeah, true.
It's
Okay.
not a big
But
one.
that's not in the active map pool,
Yeah.
so that doesn't count.
That's just more of like a patch of grass, not really a field, is it? But anyway, we digress.
You can't speak for me, Jordan. I don't digress until I want to digress, but I will digress because it's going to be a battle in the apartments, and SC Absolute's already up a man.
Yeah, but still a three-man stack on the B side, and Bentet is hitting shots. 2 headshots from him. Excurate gives away his position with a double kill for his own, and that is great work from the two Indonesians in this Tyloo roster. Excurate gets a little bit aggressive onto Crow. Doesn't work out for him. And now Crow will slow the round down. That's great to see.
Indeed. I mean, he's still got to get the bomb from B, so that's going to be a challenge in and of itself against 3 angry CTs. I don't know whether they would be angry. I feel like they'd be pretty relaxed at this point. They're up. Big advantage.
I mean, Bentet looked very relaxed there, didn't he?
Yeah. Look, they chose the wrong bomb site. There was Indonesians on that bomb site.
Yeah.
Stay away.
I think that might just be the pistol, though. Like, I don't think Excurate and Bentet are going to be the dedicated B site holders here for Tyloo.
Yeah,
Probably should know, but with how much Counter-Strike I've actually watched of Tyloo. But Excurate does tend to be fairly mobile with the AWP.
Somebody's on a short. Excurate's usually the window player, and the rest escapes me. All the rest escapes me. It's going to be a force buy out from the T side. Only got 1 smoke to work with, and then some Deagles and some CZs and some armor. Laz has lost a lot of Harry Potters. He's going to return some fire onto Excurate. Bit of trades back and forth in terms of the damage in the mid. But Tyloo coming out straight ahead. Somebody, Excurate, really? You're going to buy an AUG? Oh, that's a shot from Rita. He's looking very sharp. He's snapping around, all onto the heads. 6 HP to work with. I don't expect him to get... Oh my god! You missed all of those Deagle shots,
Oh,
Jordan.
I saw it. I was going to say, like, if he gets one more here, then that's actually not too bad of a round for SC Absolute. You know, obviously...
Those were very impressive.
Tyloo gets the win, but...
I'm a Rita. Color me as a Rita fan now.
You've seen 1 round. 2
One
rounds.
round. I don't need to see any more rounds. Okay? If I see more rounds, if I see more sample size, I'm probably going to get more disappointed as time goes on. Especially watching this match. But, you know, that's about as good as it's going to get for me. In terms of eco rounds, I like this from SC Absolute. The smoke out onto the middle of the bomb site, and then some good flashes over the top of Palace. Can work out well. It's looking like it's going to. I mean, just piling out of that Palace with nothing behind it is obviously terrible. But with the appropriate smoke and the appropriately placed flashbangs at the right times, it's pretty easy to get a bomb plant down.
As has been evidenced for SC Absolute.
In conclusion.
And my theory is proven correct.
Wow.
All right, first gun round for SC Absolute. No AWP. Not
That's
yet.
alright. I don't need it. They'll be alright.
Got a lot of utility here, though.
Because it's a bomb plant, Jordan.
And we're in the 4th round.
Oh, and they're doing the, okay, 3 smokes onto mid. Interesting. Probably a smoke to short, smoke to top mid, and smoke into the window.
The more the merrier.
Not necessarily. I don't know that many is necessary. That is going to put a spanner in the works.
Indeed.
So they group up towards B and somebody just basically throws all his utility toward, or actually his teammate threw the smoke up towards the back of Apps and he just mollies in there and flashes.
Yeah, so
That's gonna
somebody
make
in
the
Bentet
tease.
on the B site is the answer as well.
Okay, cool. I think somebody's actually the short player, usually. At least I remember him against SK running up top mid and killing people. Oh my lord, that's a quick dink. I'm not sure what that was, really. That kid just ran in ahead of everything.
Yeah, another incendiary out for Tyloo does put a spanner in the works for us. The absolute good work from Bentet before going down with the grenade. All the utility actually very well used by Bentet, and that was a storyline that we were talking about yesterday as well. He was far and away the best utility user for Tyloo. We'll have a look at that throughout the maps that we get to see against SC Absolute. But last night, you know, we were looking at how many enemies flashed he had, and it was crazy, crazy numbers on both sides of the map.
Okay, so no success whatsoever there for the T side. Just went straight out for the B play and it's pretty handily shut down by Tyloo. They're going to have to take a save now. But that does mean Rita has a deagle once again. Never mind.
Not for much longer.
Execute's just BMing them. He's bought the AUG. You can't psychologically recover from that. They're just running at them top mid.
I mean, is it BM really? It's not a bad gun.
Actually,
Ooh,
it's actually statistically better than an M4, Jordan.
Yeah, statistically. Funny that no one uses it.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Me too. I use it. Right click to win.
You need to combine that with a bit of a left click as well.
Mm.
Don't just right click, kids. You're just gonna scope
Just
in
keep
and out.
scoping in and out.
Bentet
Why isn't
almost
he
died.
dying?
Jordan said right click to win. Bombs dropped in the B apartments. It's actually winnable until DD. Oh my lord, he had a big struggle with that one. He noodles him down eventually. Liza's got himself a M4 and a bomb and a hot grenade.
Yeah, still quite a bit of damage done in this round by SC Absolute.
Yeah, I think that had something to do with Tyloo holding W up mid against pistols. Could be wrong though. I have been wrong before. Very rarely.
Very rarely, he says.
What's that meant to mean?
Means I don't believe you. Liza will at least get a bomb plant.
He's actually made the right call in this round.
Suddenly makes it doable. He's also got an incendiary.
And
that could be cheeky.
He just goes straight towards the firebox. The only spot that gets mollied every time. Where's DD gonna throw his molly? Oh, he doesn't have time for throwing grenades. There's an HE nade straight there. We actually mollies past.
Doable now for Laz, but he is going to need to come up with something special. Bentet tapping the
my
bomb.
lord.
They still have not checked firebox. Bentet will drop. DD does get the trade, but does he have time to defuse here? Certainly does. Tyloo will go up 5-0.
I actually didn't check it. Good news for SC Absolute is they have a lot of money. Bad news is they're down 5 rounds. What they're going to do in this round is a mystery to us all. In the last round, they just went for a lot of smokes over towards mid in that B play for the first gun round, and it really didn't work out well for them this time. Looks like a bit of mid control smoke out towards top mid. Molly into the connector. Somebody's done the short jump, but doesn't capitalize on it. 2 people coming out underpass, and somebody punishes the peak up mid from Rita.
Why has somebody got the AWP and not Excurate?
Excurate wants to AUG. Can you let a man use his weapon of preference? You're the one who was supporting it.
I'd prefer he use the AWP.
You can't just change your mind now.
No, I'm not. I'm saying the AWP's fine until you can get the AWP.
It's a clear chain of weaponry here.
Yeah. One's got a bigger scope.
Which one has a bigger scope, Jordan? The Dak or the AUG?
The Dak. Of course.
He had the money for a Dak, Jordan. Can you give me
well, there's no Dak that's been purchased, so it's not really part of the equation at the moment.
That was a good flash.
If he had an AWP, then he would have got that kill.
Yes, that's true. Maybe everyone should AWP if they can just point and click it on their pixel.
Point and click adventure game.
That's right.
Whoa.
Yeah, look, there's just some angles in Counter-Strike that just don't work very well, and no one knows why. No one knows why you can see somebody and he can't see you.
Yeah, that was like, it
The
even
game
looked like
is
it was very wide for whoever it was that was shooting at him.
Yep, it did indeed. It's actually a pretty good scenario here for SC Absolute. The problem is they're running very quickly out of time.
Mm-hmm.
And also the problem is that Tyloo have stacked towards the bomb site that they're going to.
They've managed to get a couple of kills. However, somebody with that AWP.
Oh no.
Something happened. I thought he saw him on the corner of the box there. Mo. Oh, I had no idea.
That was actually a pretty good round from SC Absolute, if I do say so myself. And I do. Tyloo's having a bit of a struggle for money, but they're going to buy anyway. As for SC Absolute, I mean, they had 2 alive in that last round, and they've built up enough of a loss bonus in combination with bomb plants that they've got pretty good money. 2k plus on most of their players except for Tackage.
Yeah,
or Take J, I don't know how to say that.
I'll say take. I just say take. Extra does have the AWP now, so it seems like Tyloo just thought, okay, let's...
Here we go. This is Laz's AWP audition to impress me.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really what these qualifiers are about, right?
Sure. I've seen some good stuff from Laz.
I'm not sold yet. Mainly because I haven't seen him use it yet.
Definitely the best player on SC Absolute. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah?
Pretty good. That's a pretty good opening.
That's a nice little taste test. How's that even funny?
Phrases to use on a CSGO broadcast, Jordan. Taste test, okay.
Appetizer, entree. I just want to see Excurate versus Laz. Both the AWPs gone.
Maybe they should just
ballistic.
1v1 in mid to decide who wins this map.
Maybe that will end up being what actually happens. Who can control mid better?
Usually,
At the moment, SC haven't really tried.
Usually everyone's cheating too much with smoke grenades for that to be a thing.
Yeah. Gone are the days of the AWP duel in mid.
Yep. Well, I gotta say, somebody, you're a brave man.
He's making a lot of noise
He's
as
got
well.
15 HP and he's playing that angle with the FAMAS. He does get the information though. Molotov's dropped in time. Is that a trade? That is a trade, and they have the B bomb site. It's pretty good stuff from SC Absolute. The problem is that they don't have a whole lot of utility to be able to play the post plant, and Captain Mo is using his movement keys in combination with his mouse.
What is going on in this round? DD up through apartments. Pretty important aim duel for him here. Oh no, and he's just whiffed it. Excurate just needs to spam. Oh, dearie me.
What a way to lose a round.
That has
They're
gone
broke.
horribly wrong for Tyloo.
They're double save. Wait, they might not be double save. They're not double save. They're single save, I think.
How'd that go wrong?
Well, you see, this guy called DD sprayed 4 bullets into the terrace and then flicked his mouse up into the sky.
Yeah.
Probably assuming he was dead, but he was not dead. Honestly, that should have been an SC Absolute round. They got the 3-on-3 and the bomb site control. The trades were pretty clean.
Yeah, but like even the way that somebody was playing in apartments, so aggressive with so little time left on the clock for SC Absolute.
I think I really don't like saying these things, Jordan, but I think he was just making an info play.
Mm.
He goes, I have a FAMAS and 15 HP. The best play in this round is to find out whether they're going B or A, and the quickest way to do that is to hold W through B apartments.
Maybe.
And honestly, you can't say that's necessarily the worst thing to do. I don't know if that's the 100% play, but that's got to be up there.
Look at this. DD. Oh. Almost got Laz. I wonder what would have happened if he just sort of played a little bit slower there, walked around the corner.
DD is not really known for his...
Imagine being Bentet and just winning an aim battle with a USP and no armor.
Can't really relate, to be honest.
No.
I just don't win aim bottles with any weapon, so there you go.
Fortunately for Tyloo, Bentet hasn't actually been able to follow up on the USP. He did get the AK, but couldn't convert a kill with it. One will go down on the B site for SC Absolute once again.
So pretty great post-plant positions for the T's. Somebody's going to hop on top of the bin and have a little spot.
What? Laz is on a very low HP here, so needs to be careful.
It's getting far too expensive. That could have been 4 weapons dead when they had a lot
Literally
of control.
USPs for Tyloo.
Yep. Yep. But look, they won the round, and that means it was correct.
That does.
Right, Jordan?
Yep.
Yep.
It's got the Elfish Guy stamp of approval.
Yep. I'm Elfish Guy, and good night.
Yep. Good night and happy tanking. AWP out for Execute again, but still no armor.
There's no grenades for Tyloo.
It's not a lot for Tyloo, is there?
No. There's a lot of grenades for SC Absolute, though, and they haven't thrown very many of them. Somebody's making his way up middle. He's going to find no terrorists, which is a lot of information. I think that Tyloo's just done themselves, though, is the problem. Because SC Absolute went for that contact play first gun round straight into B. And somebody ran up mid and got all the info, which might make Tyloo think like that they're going towards B like for a contact play. So they might stack it. Not doing that yet, but I think that's what was just about to happen. And I think they still might over-rotate once they see these 2 Ts and B apartments, and then get caught by these players over towards A. That's a pretty well-timed smoke grenade.
HG Nade's not going to do any damage. Somebody's in a fairly precarious spot here, but he'll win both the aim battles. That's great work from him, but now it's on the A defenders to show up as well. DD, a 1-for-1, that'll be enough. As Bass is on his own, traded out by Execute. A much better round for Tyloo.
That actually might have gone really well for SC Absolute, because somebody won both of those aim duels, right? But you still saw Execute in CT spawn start running towards B, even though there was literally no pressure on B at that point. Like, somebody's just completely wiped them, and they still feel the need to rotate, which shows that the theory was pretty good from SC Absolute. Like, that was a decent strategy to run in that round in particular. But if you just get wiped
if you lose
by
2
somebody,
players
it
and then
doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't work if you can't execute it. Sometimes that's just the way it is, and especially against a team like Tyloo, that's probably going to happen more often than not. Make sure it will get reads up.
Down a man pretty early here for SC Absolute.
Yeah, still a pretty important round though for Tyloo. I guess for SC Absolute as well, to an extent, because their money is quite low here too. But Tyloo had to reinvest a few guns there. You can still see that their economy has not recovered at all this first half. But they're kind of scrounging together buys and making them work. That's really all they need to be doing against SC Absolute. If they're up 7-3, CT half is going along perfectly fine. And while SC Absolute are throwing a few interesting strategies at them, Tyloo have just been so far good enough to deal with everything. Oh, what a timing.
Takes that Laz as well.
Just can't go any better for SC Absolute.
The off angles just work beautifully in mid for Tyloo there. Bass able to get himself 1, but that's about it. 4 alive for Tyloo is going to really help to bring their economy further up. Not to mention the fact that Mo kills someone with an MP9 and then swaps it out for an AWP.
Yeah. Massive upgrade for Tyloo, and all of a sudden thereby looks a whole lot better. And SC Absolutes look a whole lot worse. Eco round S for SC Absolute. And this is now where Tyloo, we expect to see a massive stranglehold on this map. Great shot from Execute. I don't know how he hits that.
It's pretty simple, really. He's been practicing.
Super simple stuff.
There's another one. Nice line of tracking shot. There's a 3. Don't get too excited, Jordan. They've just got pistols.
Yeah,
they're still giving him some ding-dongs. He's on 22 HP.
Some ding-dong.
What?
Never say that word again.
Not on broadcast.
Not on broadcast.
We'll do. Just in our private time.
Yeah, keep your ding-dongs in your pants. That's a nice shot. Come on.
It kind of reminds you of like when they do shooting in the Olympics and they like fire out the dishes and then you track them and pull the trigger. That's pretty much what he did, but instead of that, he did it to a terrorist head running out mid.
Yeah. Another buy for SC Absolute. Full rifles across the board, but their money's not great. So they are lacking utility here.
No mid presence whatsoever from Tyloo, contrary to what they've been doing a lot of this CT half. They're switching things up with a bit of aggression towards that A ramp. Expecting a bit of an A execute out from your boys over on SC Absolute. But this time, Japanese side will get mid pretty much for free. The problem is they don't have a whole lot of nades to play the rest of this round out. So the question is, Jordan, okay guys, you've got connector and you've got some control of middle. What do now?
It's a big question. Walk toward the B bomb site, which is where Ben Ted has been holding, and he has been solid so far. Would you go toward A, which you've not had too much success on? Somebody indeed nicely positioned. No one's going to be able to get somebody out of the firebox.
This is a good fight for Laz to take if he does peek in towards jungle, but now Mo's moved, unfortunately. They just don't have any utility. The thing is that they do have radio silence pretty much all across the map. Execute's actually walked his way into B apartments. Pop flash into connector, doesn't get Crow killed this time. Which is good news.
Potentially crucial.
Oh, that's beautiful. Nice mid-round flash.
Yeah. Bro, just so much work done. And Tyloo, they thought that there wasn't anyone close there. They got what they thought was the info that they needed, but absolutely did not. And they've been bamboozled by SC Absolute.
That was just a game of timing, really. The flash has just caught Tyloo off. And also just the way that strategies matched up. Unfortunately, Tyloo just ungoofed. Nothing they could have done.
They've got a second chance, though.
They got double AWPs as well.
This time, SC Absolute will go to the A site, but Execute's already been dropped.
Rita gets the AWP kill this time, rather than Laz. And I was about to say, Jordan, those very impressive Deagle kills were his only kills of the game so far until he picks up that AWP frag. He was going like 3 for 11. Out comes the A execute. Jungle smokes a bit off. It's a bit of a gap. Good Molotovs out towards under Bauk everywhere. They just mollied a bunch of people out of position. That's beautiful stuff.
Mo, however, does have a little hole in the smoke to look through. It's not going to net him anything. Surprising that Tyloo are even still hanging around here because they don't have enough money to buy through next round, and both those guns do go down.
That's beautiful stuff. Pretty much just did the textbook on how to do an A execute and how to split A through connector. That's going to give them 2 gun rounds and put Tyloo on an eco. So 2 very well executed strats on the T side for SC Absolute. Can't fault them, really. Now they got their money going towards the end of the half. They're going to, whether they win this one or not, which they probably should, they're going to have a bye next round. Tyloo's going to have a bit of a shaky one next round. There's no way Execute gets an AWP, that's for sure.
Was set up to be a really, really strong first half here for Tyloo, but it's started to falter a little bit. It's the Absolute coming back into it for sure.
Tyloo's got a pretty good T side on this map, though. So we will see how Scars go on their CT side. Gotta say, of all the teams I've seen, Scars probably, or almost definitely, has the longest list of sponsors I've ever seen. You should go on their Twitter right now.
Who?
Scars.
Scars.
Go look up their Twitter right now.
Right,
look at their Twitter banner and just see how many sponsors are there. It is crazy.
What's their Twitter?
It's, I don't know, just type Scars Absolute. Is that so hard, Jordan?
Yes.
Oh, okay, sorry, my bad.
I can't find them.
Unfortunate.
Genuinely. I can find
It's probably in Japanese or something.
It's at Scars5.
Okay.
And, oh my god. Yeah, they do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
They're like proper
9,
ones as well. They're not
10,
just like
11,
meme sponsors. They're actual
12,
companies.
13, 14. They've got 15 sponsors. We are professional esports team. Bloody oath.
Bloody professional.
Jesus.
I suppose when you're like the only proper team from your region, you probably just do soak up all the sponsors, don't you?
Yeah, I guess.
There you go. That's all we need to do, Jordan. We need to just kill off the rest of the Oceanic scene, and then me and you can make an esports team with 3 of our buddies, and we'll just get mad sponsorship.
Absolutely.
That's the way to go.
Who would we play against, though?
Who did these guys play against? We probably have to play against, like, I don't know. We'd probably be in Southeast Asia on 200 ping. Probably have to move to Perth.
Perth's cheap.
Yeah. I haven't actually ever been to Perth.
Neither. As with the AWP again. This time against a gun round for Tyloo, but a pretty lackluster looking buy.
Not a single hot grenade.
Is that what we're calling him now?
Yeah.
Ooh. Close to a timing shot.
Yeah, Tyler's just going to walk up mid because somebody has gone, hey guys, I've walked up mid like 3 times and there's no one there.
Unfortunately, that's going to leave the A side open. And a full retake with what Tyloo have got now is not going to be enjoyable.
I don't know who that was. I think it was Rita, but he was running out the A-bomb side, just gets T-flashed and nopes it all the way back to Tetris.
Would have been nice for Execute to win that aim battle, but DD does chime in with 1. Can't get the second, however.
It's a nice different approach on the A-bomb side, honestly, from Scars. One time they throw the Execute, this time they just go out dry with a couple flashes and do the grenades that they need to do. A couple mollies off to position the smoke on CT and they get the bomb down. I will say they've been pretty fortunate with how the strategies that they're throwing at Tyloo have matched up against what setup Tyloo's doing on the CT side.
Well, 8-7 first half. Pretty even as far as everything there is concerned. Let's look at the statistics. Utility damage out from Bentet looking pretty good.
Dear God.
Look at the rest of SC Absolute. Come on, guys, get your grenades out.
Only one of them has any.
Yeah.
Bit harder to get that util damage on the T side, to be fair.
Yeah, well.
I think most of the util damage that I think it was Crow had probably came from just throwing a Molotov under balcony that one time. DD was under there and he got flashed and sat in the molly and went, oh no.
Oh no.
By the time he could see his screen, he had 20 HP. Okay, 3 stack on the A-bomb site, and Tyloo doesn't go to the A-bomb site.
Yeah, this could be a big mistake from SC Absolute.
Look, if you're going to play a stack on A, you've obviously thought out how you're going to retake the B-bomb site, right?
With 1 smoke, not going to be easy if Tyloo get in here unscathed, and unfortunately for SC Absolute, can't find any kills on the entry.
Huh?
We'll get Mo.
There you go.
So player advantage for SC Absolute, but somebody playing the close angle here, as he should be with the Glock. Trying to put pressure on to SC Absolute early on in the piece. Needs to trust his teammates to cover off short. Somebody will go aggressive, a 1-for-1. Not ideal, but not the end of the world yet for Tyloo. And Execute once again up on the box. This is where he played on the CT side pistol round. Once again, we'll have some degree of success from there. But it's just onto DD, and he's made some noise now. Headshots need to be achieved for him. As SC Absolute pushes his position, he doesn't have many shots left. Just the 2. And Laz will get the job done, but he doesn't have time to defuse. And then Tyloo come away with a pistol round.
Unfortunate.
2 pistols for Tyloo.
Laz still has a kit and head armor. Yeah, I mean, that just shows how good SC was on some of their gun rounds on the T side. And not only that, they were so good at chipping down that economy for Tyloo. They got so many kills on their pistol, like ecos. Tyloo was struggling for money a lot of that CT side. So, Tyloo go for the approach of just chucking an Execute at the 4-sport pistols. They don't want to deal with any of those weird angles. It's going pretty good so far, Jordan.
So far, so good. Nice molly. Rita does, however, actually find a kill and falls away through the smoke.
DD with a re-smoke for CT. If he gets away without getting spammed through the CT smoke by the pistolers.
Doesn't really have the opportunity to throw that smoke down now. If he pulls it out, that would definitely be a mistake. 1-for-1 for DD. So it's starting to look doable for SC Absolute. Obviously still a tough ask, but somebody is quite isolated, so he'll have to keep himself alive through force. We'll do just that. 2 kills for somebody.
He was playing a reverse default there, so Tyloo wasn't particularly pressured to hold on to that bomb site. And once the pistolers were running in those open angles without much utility purchased and with some pretty low range weaponaries, there wasn't a whole lot they could do. Nice round from Tyloo, minimizing the risk by using the utility and creating a situation where, ooh, the double boost on ticket. Interesting. Not sure whether they can actually kill anyone coming out a ramp from that position, but I could be wrong. See if Captain Mo's good at playing whack-a-mole. Coming out Palace and picking heads that are just
With
bobbing up
10,
and down.
might not be so easy.
I rate it. I reckon he can do it.
Sure he can.
He's overcome great adversity recently.
Okay.
That probably boosts his chances, right?
We'll see.
It's actually a 5-stack on AF here from Scars.
Tyloo's going to walk into it, but there's not really much of a chance for SC Absolute when they only have USPs. Like, if you had P250s here, you'd be feeling a little bit like there's a chance for SC. But USPs, it's going to have to be some incredible aim here.
Oh my god, I will never diss this boost again.
Goodness me, I have been so wrong. Because the USPs just obliterate Tyloo. They had no idea. They still have no idea what's going on. Mo's the hero. He's kept his teammate alive, but somebody finds himself in a 1v1 against Laz. Goodness me. SC Absolute pulling out all the stops. Unfortunately, Laz can't find an AK.
What a post-plant position. Oh no.
Jeez.
Somebody. Of course he's the one to do that. Where shall I play of these amazing post-plant positions? I could go 8 ramp, I could go
Anywhere.
Tetris, or I could play on top of default.
Where any angle that he
turreting
peeks
every
from.
angle.
Yeah. Oh,
That's just such a somebody play.
what a round.
I really want him to lose one of these clutches, so I can say he's just somebody that I used to know.
Somebody told me.
Such a quotable name.
Slowing down a little bit for Tyloo. They've not been particularly aggressive in their T-side so far, with the exception of the anti-force buy.
Laz has got the whopper though. See if he can kill anyone with it.
So far, I haven't seen too much magic from him. This is a good angle to be holding, though. Somebody might make the mistake and will. Sharp
He shot him in the elbow. His elbow's gone.
The rest of him is gone too.
Can't operate without them elbows. Laz could get another one here, but the smoke comes out just in time. He's going to keep fighting though. Drops the smoke behind himself. Extinguishes the molly with it before it even goes out. That's a nice flick.
I told you, this guy's got something.
Got an AWP, that's what he's got. But unfortunately, that's not really going to help him if his teammate gets surrounded on B. Takaj might not be ready for DD to be so close. DD's already in Africa.
He's already spotted the player on short take, actually managing to find a kill, which is quite impressive. Bas very quick on the rotation. Excurate cannot get the trade, cannot get the round. Laz opening up there with the 2 kills though.
That was a very slow one from Tyloo, and once again, Scars. The gun round that they choose to employ, the strategy that they choose to do is just very good against, just happened to be so good against what Tyloo was doing.
Reading the play pretty well.
I don't know if it's a read or just an accidental stroke of genius.
Either way, they're doing the right thing.
Still losing though.
Just 11-8. Not over yet for SC Absolute. They're hanging in there. And they've reset the economy of Tyloo as well, so they should net one back.
Would never count Tyloo out on pistols, Jordan. We've done it before.
Indeed. This will be a tough one to deal with, though. Read his position.
He's using the A1S. That's his first mistake. He's made a mistake in his inventory before even loading in the game.
Yeah, running out of ammo here. Oh dear.
Yep. He's quickly going to have to disconnect and change his weapon choice after that one.
Yeah. Would it be nice to have 14 shots instead of 4? In that fadeaway. Now somebody's got an M4A1S, but he's got no HP.
Oh, it's a nice red one. It's shiny.
Still, he could cut off a rotator if SC Absolute don't check this angle, but they do.
It's all on Bass, playing close to say ramp. Bit of a slow reaction from the man. Don't worry.
Laz is here.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Do we get the buy from Tyloo? Mo doesn't have too much cash. Somebody's gone for a Mac 10. He could have got AK and armor and utility, but he goes for the Mac 10. What is this buy?
AK doesn't make mad dollars, Jordan.
Neither does the Mac 10 if you don't kill anyone with it.
Irrelevant.
And judging on how much utility and armor SC Absolute do have, I feel as though it will be difficult for somebody.
I think he knows exactly what he's doing. There's a certain type of madness to watching somebody play.
There's a method to the madness. Oh,
look at him,
no.
he does it perfectly.
Well, not quite able to convert the kill, but it worked nicely, I gotta say. Ro trying to hold on, but too many players, too many angles to worry about. Laz on the rotation with the AWP, doesn't have the angle yet. Be unlikely for Tyloo to peek into him at this point, so he's going to need to go hunting. Not any utility though for Tyloo, so they will be relying on probably Exurate here with the AK to win that aim battle, but he doesn't. Laz misses a shot, backed up well by Bass, however.
They don't lose a single player coming out market. That's not an easy task. I was about to say, whenever you watch somebody play, it's like so many question marks, and then after like the first couple question marks, you're like, oh, I get it.
But I didn't, because he didn't get a kill.
And they didn't win, so it wasn't correct.
No, it was wrong. Another save here for Tyloo, and they are definitely allowing SC Absolute to keep this one close.
Tyloo's got a bunch of CZs and a Deagle. That means the round's still winnable, Jordan. Oh, who's in Palace? You brave soul, Bass. He doesn't care. Against pistols? Pushing Palace like that? This man's got a death wish.
He's fine. Don't worry, they're on the other side of the map.
Correct. It's correct. They're in the ramp.
Oh, this could actually work for Tyloo.
What is that from Excurate?
Knife! No, Excurate, no! Laz is still there. Shoot him!
What is this round? Them in the legs through the smoke running away.
This round is bonkers. What on earth?
What just happened?
That was such a good start for Tyloo. I was like, oh, they're actually going to win this round. They're going to kill these two guys in connector.
What was that from Laz? I don't even think he knows he just did that. I don't even know if he knows what he just did.
This is where it went wrong. Excurate.
Look at that collat. He just like 180 no scopes through the smoke as he runs away, and he collats both of them in the legs. Excurate's got the AWP down though. We ain't playing around anymore, Jordan. It's an A ramp push up against the execute. This could be bad for either team. We'll never know if it's correct until something happens. It's looking pretty correct for SC Absolute. Ooh. They're actually going to hear them running away here.
That could be a detriment.
Excurate, are you still posted? Oh my god, Bass. You have the patience. He's a patient boy. He's very mild-mannered also. Setup is looking very SK Gaming-esque. Close ramp with the AWP, and then the rifle at a follow-up completely destroys Tyloo.
Well, that is a round and a half for SC Absolute. Let's see what Bentek can do to salvage it.
Look at their money as well, Jordan. Like, this is best case scenario. Look at the flashbangs. If Bentek can't see me, he can't kill me.
You say that. This is Bentek we are talking about, however. But he'll drop. Great round from SC Absolute. They're up to 12 and they're in the lead for the first time in a while.
And I feel like a broken record, Jordan, but that was just another one of those rounds where SC Absolute happened to do the perfect thing against what Tyloo was doing. They avoided all the landmines. I gotta say, they're getting a little bit fortunate with these strategy choices. But at the end of the day, they're getting the kills on the board. And they're also winning a lot of rounds that aren't easy to win either, like the retakes on B.
Yeah. Imagine if SC actually wins this map. Then Tyloo's one map away from being knocked out of the China Close qualifiers on day 2. The first team to be eliminated as well, mind you. That would be a very strange storyline. Could be realistic at this point, though. SC are doing everything right.
I don't think they actually start really feeling the pressure until like they're losing Inferno. Like they're a couple rounds down on Inferno.
Maybe.
That would be crazy though. And then imagine if MVP doesn't even like win the qualifier from there. Who else would do it? Like Vici? I don't know.
I guess. I don't know. Like Vici, maybe. I don't think Flash is...
Too Flash?
Yeah.
Alright, Tyloo, what you got for me? Molly towards unders from the CTs is going to slow somebody down a bit. Just some light mid control from a couple of their players using utility to slowly creep up middle. It's a double B app setup from SC Absolute. Actually, what they're doing really reminds me of like SK Gaming when Fallen we used to all from Tipkit and you would have a rifler playing up close. The same thing with that close A ramp setup as well. They have seen Bast playing very, very closely. Ooh, the repeat from Excurate.
Okay, Tyloo starting to get a bit of control on this A site, but they still haven't cleared out CT spawn. And Mo, with a wide strafe, does actually give himself some room to work with. Has a chance now that he's out from Firebox. Not much time though. 35 seconds. He's looking for these 1v1s. Might walk right into the sight line that Rita is holding, though. Rita's not going to expect him that close. He'll get into the B sights, but ooh, is he going to be prepared for Take to be so close up short? Well, he's still playing safe. But he's expecting him to come from market.
Oh my god, Mo. You can't just do that to him. SC Absolute thought they were going to win this map. You can't just turn around and 1p him.
Who knows? Maybe they still are going to win this map. They have a huge
honestly, this is best case scenario for them if they win this round because they're just going to break Tyloo's money at 14-12. But we will see.
Tyloo probably still have another round ahead of them before they break SC Absolute's money, but...
I'm not sure, though. You know, Tackage and Crow's money's...
Well, yeah, true.
A little rough. Might be a single eco, but it's definitely not going to break them entirely.
A lot of variables.
Too many numbers for a stream like this.
Excure's been spotted at top mid.
Oh my lord, that's a chunky pineapple.
Excure, very smart, very quick on that smoke. Knew he was in trouble. There's still a few HE nades here for SC Absolute, however, but doesn't look like they have the opportunity to utilize them. Excure.
Tyloo also running out of nades.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the late round, unless SC makes a mistake here, Tyloo definitely could be having some trouble.
Pretty much seeing all of the utility expended now by Tyloo as they make their way toward the B site.
Tackage still has his molly to drop. Who else is with him? You've got Crow. He's got a smoke still. Where's Rita sitting? Is he left side window still?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know how this is going to go.
Not a whole lot of time for Tyloo.
That's not ideal.
Neither is this grenade going to be. Bit of damage onto Mo. Not a huge amount. Thought it would do a little more. Attackers in a nice spot to cause some problems, but causing no problems at all there for Tyloo. In fact, Laz and Bass better off just backing away here. Tyloo will make it 13 apiece. SC Absolute might have thought that they were in with a chance of closing this map out a couple of rounds ago. And in fact, they were. But Tyloo have clawed their way back into things. Now it's still anybody's game.
Yeah,
As
definitely.
might even lose this AWP.
Yikes. He could drop one. Laz can still buy an AWP. Crow can make do with an SMG. But that was a pretty clean round for Tyloo to win. I don't really feel like they did enough damage to make this a must-win round for Tyloo.
Still kind of hanging in the balance here. Laz trying to get a little bit aggressive with the AWP. Posted up on the line. He wants to have the impact early on in the round. Has been, again, a standout for SC Absolute. 23 and 14 for him. Going up against Excurate here, though. He'll get the leg shot. Somebody! How is he here? That's what Rita's going to be thinking. But too little too late for Rita as he's dropped now. Player advantage for Tyloo.
Yeah, and they've got control of so much of the map. Somebody's all the way up jungle now. They're close to B. There's still 2 SC Absolute players on A, and there's only Tackage left on B. He's still got a Molotov, but he's not really in a position to be able to throw it, Jordan.
Still, he'll get the better of DD. Straight away traded, however, by Mo. The bomb to go down very quickly for Tyloo as well as Crow creeps his way up through short. Spotted and dispatched of. Bass, again, having to save. This time at least he does have the AWP. But is he going to get out alive? Absolutely not. Excurate knows where he's coming from. 14-13, Tyloo now within striking distance, and they'll ruin the economy of SC Absolute. Worst possible time.
Well, this is the problem, isn't it, really, with Scars? I mean, you can say that they're playing, like, so good, right? Like, they're making some really good decisions, but they're still just losing to Tyloo's, like, C-grade game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not good enough at the end of the day, you know? You need to be able to take this map, and when you get advantages, take it and run with it. But even when they play pretty well, it's just not good enough to be able to compete with Tyloo. They had the opportunity to take this map when they were playing well, but it was still just so much of a struggle. And it doesn't even really look like Tyloo's breaking a sweat, despite being in the lower bracket. They're just kind of going through the motions. Molotov out towards Ticket and Default. Smoke does that even... It didn't even extinguish it.
1-for-1 on the entry. DD pushing into jungle. Will eliminate Laz. And a big spray down through the CT smoke is going to put Bass low on HP. Tyloo with full control of the A site now. A great post plant set up for them. They don't have too much utility, but then again, SC Absolute really don't have much to write home about where the utility is concerned or the weaponry. And they're actually going to back off here.
I mean, Crow's technically upgraded his weapon.
It's such a bittersweet, though. Sorry, English is hard. Bitter pill to swallow for SC Absolute, especially now. Like, they've just lost those 2 guns, so they're thinking we might as well have at least tried to go for that retake. And we probably would have lost the guns anyway, but could have tried to do something. Crow will get away with the AK.
He can drop an M4 over to someone. Rita can buy a Fambus. The rest of them are going to be on Struggle Street.
So close yet so far for SC Absolute. They need to come up with some magic here. No AWP.
You got to say as well, Rita hasn't really been outstanding in this map so far. And I remember a player that he replaced being pretty decent, so it's a rough one. He's got another map to see what he can do against Tyloo. And it is Tyloo, you have to say. Always tough to perform against the best. The rest of them, though, pretty even across the board. Everyone sort of stepping up, except for the new guy. Tyloo just waiting for some peaks. They know that SC Absolute has absolutely no money. So They're just going to wait for mistakes to come out. They know that SC Absolute doesn't have the weaponry or the utility to be able to play into the late round.
Bleed that utility.
Yep.
That's what Tyloo is doing at the moment.
The double push into Palace.
Well, they need some info.
No, it's good. Might be the only thing that can win in this round at this point.
Not if they lose fast like that. Laz can't get the trade.
Somebody just... Oh! He's always just been the knife in the back, straight up underpass into connector.
Yeah, no
in the
worries.
later part of this T side.
This is looking very much like 16-13 on the cards now for Tyloo. Crow gives them a semblance of hope, but look at this position of Xcurate. Spot him in window, and that's an easy kill for Xcurate. He might just get both of them now. Jumping up into the crosshair of Takic, but gives over an AWP. No time, no worries. DD closes it out. 16-13 for Tyloo. In the end, map 1 goes their way. Maybe a little bit closer than we would have expected, but this is the result that we predicted, that Tyloo would take away map 1, and we also said map 2 should go their way as well. Not so solid still yet from Tyloo, though.
Yeah, look, I have to say that Scars, like, the score looks really close, and it looks like they did really well, but the whole game, I felt like I was watching every important gun round, like Scars pretty much coincidentally doing the perfect strategy up against what Tyloo was throwing at them and getting really fortunate with the calls that they were making. I don't know whether that was just luck or really well prepared from Scars, especially picking a map like Mirage into Tyloo. You'd want to be pretty well versed into what Tyloo's going to throw at you, especially knowing that you're definitely going to have to play this map in a series against them because both of you play it. The other thing to sort of highlight is also that, you know, Tyloo obviously didn't really turn up to that game very much. It seemed like they were just kind of going through the motions, and that was good enough to win from them, and that's kind of sad to see, obviously.
Yeah, very close map, though. You've got to give some credit to SC Absolute. Going 16-13 against Tyloo on Mirage is no easy feat.
Yep. You have to be happy with that to some extent, but at the same time, I felt like they could have won that game, and that's often what you see with an underdog up against, you know, a better team like that. They did so many things right, and they made so many good decisions, and they put themselves in the position to win that game. They were constantly messing with Tyloo's economy, putting them on eco and stuff like that. But when it came down to crunch time, there was just a couple of rounds, like that round on B where Takic doesn't quite throw his Molotov right, and it just seemed like all Tyloo needed was like 1 or 2 mistakes and they just win. Whereas SC Absolute had to like do so many things perfect for such a long time to be able to keep that competitive, and it was only just competitive. It was not like they were smashing them.
Yeah, definitely not the way that SC Absolute would have wanted it to end up turning out. Like there was chances there was times where rounds looked close. I mean, we talked about somebody's positioning in that 1v1 clutch. That one goes the way of SC Absolute. Just these little moments where Tyloo is slightly better and they're able to get the advantage over SC Absolute that benefits them and ends up making it into a 16-13 scoreline. Very similar storyline to what we were talking about yesterday with Vici and Tyloo on map 1. Tyloo got 16-14 win on Train, now 16-13 win on here on Mirage, but still got map 2 and 3 to talk about. I mean, there is still plenty more of this series to go.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, next one's coming up is Inferno, I think, right? So I don't know whether Scars have played it that much. Obviously, it's one of the staple maps for Tyloo, but they did just get smashed by Vici on it yesterday. I would still be expecting them to come away with it. But obviously, Scars made that first map competitive, so there's always potential for the second one to be competitive as well.
Yeah, definitely. We were talking earlier on about how SC Absolute have got a lot of sponsors, Pilly. One more sponsor that we need to talk about, of course, is MSI, who have been supporting the ESL Pro League throughout this season. And they're definitely going to be bringing some good products to your, I would say, shelves, but you don't really go to a store. I guess you can go to a store and buy MSI products, but, you know, typically for me at least, I'd buy my stuff online. Anyway, go check them out. They do some good work. And that's what SC Absolute is going to need to do in the second map. Now, you talk about Inferno, you talk about potentially how much SC Absolute do play that map. I got to say, the statistics don't look too great for them. They've played it 5 times in the last 3 months and they haven't won once on it. So that's a very, very scary prospect going up against Tyloo in the next map.
Yep, I would have to agree with you. I really don't expect them to do any work in the next map, but we'll see if they can make it competitive at least.
We shall see indeed. We're going to head to a quick break. Don't go anywhere though. Map 2 between Tyloo and SC Absolute coming up in a sec.